Welcome to the RV Rental Secrets podcast. I'm your host, Stacy Maxon, and I'm thrilled to guide you through the journey of launching, growing, and managing a profitable RV rental business.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of RV Rental Secrets podcast. I'm your co-host, Garr Russell, with my co-host, Stacy. It's almost summer. Are you excited, Maxon?
Yes. I mean, who's not excited for summer?
Yeah, you just went back to New York and stepped into, is it like rainy and cold? Is there snow on the ground?
No, not currently, but we did have freezing temperatures last night. So not fun when you're in an RV.
Oh my gosh, yes. All right, let's just stop right now. Lord, I just pray for Stacy and everybody that's in cold weather. Make the sun shine upon them. And I'm thankful summer's coming. Amen. Yeah. Oh, not fun. So we were talking about what should we talk about today? And we're talking about this change of seasons, right? So we thought let's talk about just the basics, right? Especially if you're running RV rentals in a seasonal location, sometimes you can right forget. It's like, oh man, I got to start thinking de-winterization and charging the battery and flushing out antifreeze or all the different things, inspecting the roof and the seals. And so we thought, let's go back to the basics. So Stacy, I'll start with you. What's a top basic that you would say is important to remember looking into your 2025 rental season?
Yeah, well, I know you just mentioned a lot of maintenance things. My husband, he's a certified RV tech, so he handles all of that when we had our fleet. But yeah, that's definitely important is making sure, like when we first started our season, of course, we would de-winterize, he would handle the maintenance and really just do like a deep clean of the unit and also just kind of doing like a walkthrough and seeing like if any repairs needed to be done, if there was anything that we kind of left from last season, just to get it ready for the rental. So I think that's really important to just do, a really good walkthrough of each unit and see what existing issues there might be.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, Stacy, I want you to guess what I'm going to say is the top thing that you should be doing looking into your summer season.
Knowing your mindset, I'm gonna guess hiring.
Hiring, okay, that's a good one. Yeah, it's definitely if you're scaling, I'm all about building a team and you not doing all the things. So that is a good one. But no, my top thing I'm going to say is your nightly minimums. That is the biggest thing I feel like I stand on in my soapbox of the RV rental world is right? Especially now, you're getting excited. Summer's coming. So, what part of excitement is like anticipation? The opposite of anticipation is anxiousness of not knowing what's going to happen. And so, what do a lot of people do? They're like, oh my gosh, it's April 2nd, and I'm not fully booked for the summer yet. And people start to freak out and they start to take every single inquiry that comes their way and they start to load their calendar with all these, I call them weekend warriors. And now, sweet, you can rest assured you are booked every single weekend all summer long. And now you have a bunch of open spots on your calendar. So, one of the things that I'm always on my soapbox about is you've got to have high nightly minimums. Here at Fireside, I just looked at this the other day for 2024. Out of the thousands of rentals that we did, our average rental is 6 nights. Okay. So that there should be proof in the pudding that you can demand a higher minimum and you can get them. Stacy, what's your thoughts on that? You want to share your story of years ago when you first started with me?
Yeah, I remember the first year that we started, that's you kept saying that over and over. You're like, do a week minimum, do a week minimum. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So I got up to 5 nights. Well, for drivable units, I did do the 7 nights, but for my travel trailers and fifth wheels, we did 5 nights. And yeah, we would have people book that only needed it for one night and would pay for the 5 nights. And, people are still renting them. And it's funny because you had said about, people just taking any reservations that come in. And I had a franchise that I spoke with yesterday, and they were actually like kind of concerned because, being April and they only have 20 bookings for this coming season. And I was like, there's going to be so many last minute rentals that are going to fill, your calendar. And like, that's not anything to worry about. So yeah, you want to take those long bookings now and get what you can. And then, you can even, I've used this strategy in the past, like as it gets to that month, you could lower your minimum and possibly take less nights, so if you want to do a 3-day weekend or something like that on last minute rentals, but those rentals will come.
Yeah, they most definitely will. And let me encourage you on why they will come for several reasons. One, everybody who has a 2-night minimum, which unfortunately the platforms kind of promote that, when the emails they send out and how they're trying to educate you. That's because that's a large part of their audience. But just because that's a large part of their audience, that doesn't mean that's the audience we're looking to serve. Typically, the shorter rentals are where you're going to get the damage. It's where you're going to get the complaints. It's where people are trying to cram a lot into a short amount of time. So, with that being said, a lot of your competitors are going to be booked up for those who are looking for the longer rentals. Second is last minute rentals, like Stacy said. People are going to reach out to you freaking out. Oh my gosh, I had this camper booked for a year, blah, 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 blah. And then the awning just got ripped off, and now the people just canceled on me. That's going to be a customer for you. Also, look at it from this standpoint. Oh, wait, let me back up once. Don't ever cancel a rental because the awning got ripped off. People, I'm going to preach here for a minute. Is that all right, Stacy?
Yeah.
Okay,
Then
I'm gonna go off here for a minute. I had a warehouse full of pop-up canopies, dorm refrigerators, vent out window AC units. The list goes on and on and on. People would much rather you have a solution to what isn't even their problem than canceling on them. So you can actually frame a problem in a way that where they almost feel like it was their problem that you fixed for them. Hey, I just wanted to reach out to let you know, no need to worry, but the last renter actually ripped off the awning. But don't worry, I saved your trip. I actually went to Walmart and I bought you a 10 by 10 canopy so that your trip can continue. So you just told the renter that the RV is damaged. Don't worry, you're still going to send them out with it, and they're happy. So there's a way you can frame things to where you can come in as the hero, and there's no need to cancel the reservation because of something like that. Because honestly, there's so many good. Y'all know that our campers, right? Most of us got into this to make memories. You can still go camping without an awning, or you can throw up the 10 by 10 pop up stuff like that. So don't cancel a reservation because of stuff like that. That's you responding emotionally to something that once the emotions have subsided, you can figure out a solution to logically. So don't do that. And then what was I going to say next? I got so excited. Oh, that's what I was going to say next. Well, Stacey, you want to comment on that all first? Because I get so excited here sometimes.
Oh, I think that's great. We did the same thing. We had, the portable air conditioners, the tents to replace the awnings, and like you said, they're not going to be upset about it. They're just happy they can still continue their vacation.
Yeah, exactly. So the next thing I was going to say in regards to minimums is let's say you do have a 2-night minimum, and let's say you're booked up every weekend for the month. Sweet. You booked 8 days. You booked 8 days for the month, right? 4 weekends, 2 days a weekend, Friday to Sunday. So that's 8 days. Think of it this way. Think of even if you only had a 4-night minimum, okay, and you did only 2 bookings a month, you still are doing 8 days, and now you're doing half the work. Take that up to 5-night minimum, and you do 2 bookings a month. You're doing 2 extra days instead of the 8, and you're doing half the work. Say you go up to my bold 7-night minimum that I recommend, or even a 6-night minimum, and you do 1 booking a month. Say you do 1 booking a month at a 7-night minimum, you're actually only doing 1 night less, and you're doing 75% less work. That's one thing that people don't put a value on is their time. You have to put a value to your time. So if you're only doing 7 nights instead of 8, but you're only doing 1 delivery a month instead of 4, that's a huge win. But guess what? You're not going to just do 1 rental per month. You're still going to end up booking more. You're actually going to have more nights booked if you have a higher night minimum because you're going to fill that slot. And we know that mid-June to mid-August, when kids are out of school, if you actually have the higher nightly minimums, you're actually going to be booked solid all summer long.
Yeah, we definitely saw that. And, when you have multiple units too, like you said, it's not going to matter if you even just have that one booking per month on that unit. we had on average 20 units. So it's like right there, you would have at least 20 bookings. And
Exactly.
we were always busy, especially, yeah, during July and August. It was just all units were fully booked out.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so next let's talk about, right, this is RV rental secrets. We're running an RV rental business. The reason why we run a business is to make money. We're either making money to try and profit a bunch off our camper, or if we're running it as like a fleet to generate revenue, or we're trying to pay off our camper as quick as possible. So at the end of the day, for a business, there's two things you can do. You can increase your amount of revenue, you can lower your amount of overhead. So one thing that one of my mentors has taught me in regards to finances is there's only so much you can do to lower overhead. There comes a point, right? Even your personal budget, it's like, okay, we're down to eating ramen noodles and this and that, and we're walking, and right, there's only so much you can do to lower your overhead and still like enjoy life. But there's an unlimited amount of things you can do to increase your revenue. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? We've talked about nightly minimums, but what else can you do to increase your revenue for your RV rental business?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is add-ons. We have some of our franchises that make more in add-ons than they do for the nightly rentals. You can offer basically anything, pick people up from the airport. You can have linens. People have campers package where they have grills and chairs. I've seen game packages. I mean, there's just everything.
Yeah, there's so many, and that's exactly where my head was going too, Stacy, add-ons. And just a couple other out-of-the-box ideas. Think of a hotel, right? You go to a hotel, like Stacy, we were in Vegas there a couple months ago for that conference, and in your hotel room, there was a weighted tray where you could take that bottle of water off and then it bills your room $15. Did you do any of those, by the way? I didn't check the credit card statement.
I think I did one time. I grabbed a bottle of water out of desperation.
So what you could do, obviously you don't have a weighted tray, that's all that technology, but what you could do is you could put together like a craft package that you could shrink wrap and put a QR code on it that maybe leads to your PayPal. Okay, or you could have a statement on there that says, hey, scan this QR code to buy this craft package for $25. Or, when we check the camper back in after the rental, if this package is opened or removed, then we'll just simply bill you, you know, $25 instead of the $20 if you scan the QR code. So that's one thing you can do. I have a franchisee who has an extra clean package, and people that are just weird about cleanliness pay for it. Another out of the box idea is, with increasing revenue but keeping overhead low, is don't go out like buy like 50 sets of camping chairs and then have them up for rent. Have a picture of a camping chair, right? And then in the description, chair may be this or similar to this. Have your price, which you should be able, except for like maybe like a generator or something like that. A lot of your items, you should be able to actually cover the cost of that item. So if you have just a regular folding camping chair, you could put $20 for that camping chair. And knowing that you can go to Walmart and pick it up for 15, 20 bucks, have it as an add-on item. When the renter purchases that item, then go ahead and pick it up from Walmart. So now you've just bought that item. The first renter paid for the cost to have it, and you haven't added a bunch of overhead. And now you just added really an asset into your inventory that you could turn around and rent for the next time.
Yeah, I think a great idea for that too is that's really how you can test the add-ons and see what people are going to want in your area. So you can put anything on there as an add-on, and the ones that are actually being reserved, then those are the items that you go out and buy, and then you can start, getting rid of the ones that people don't seem to like.
Exactly, yeah. And then one final thought is, one thing that we don't do is we don't think about, so we're talking about 2025 right now, right? Is anybody thinking about 2026? Most likely not. We think about, the day that's ahead of us or the week that's ahead of us. Some of us, we're just thinking about the next hour. But think about this in regards to your renter. Okay, look at your renter as an asset. Look at your renter and say, hey, what am I doing while that renter is on their rental to get them to leave a review, right? You can ask them for a review as soon as they book. You can ask them for a review 2 days in the rental. You can ask them for a review when they're returning it. Then let's take it a step further. If we're thinking about increasing revenue and lowering overhead, while that renter is on their rental, ask them about, hey, do you guys, typically go to the same place every year? Oh, you do? Great. Tell you what, if you want to go ahead and book this camper right now for next year, what I'm going to do is most people would think as percentage of discount because that's what stores do. I'm going to give you a 10% discount to book right now. You really don't have to work that hard to get the business. You could say, hey, if you want to go ahead and book that right now, what I'm going to do is those camping chairs that you guys rented, I'm going to give those to you for free next year. Or do this. Hey, the camping chair that you guys rented, tell you what, you guys want to book right now for next year? Go ahead and take those with you. I want to give them to you. You can have them as a gift. Or I want to give you a s'mores kit. Or you guys want to book right now for next. I love marketing, as y'all can tell, so I can just go on and on. My mind is just going crazy right now. Or you could say, hey, if y'all want to go ahead and book for next year right now, I'll order y'all pizza tonight, $25 for Domino's. Stacy, that was good stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like it. And one of the things I learned too from when I went to the RVDA conference is when they would come back and return the unit, they would say, oh, well, instead of giving back your security deposit, what if we just use that towards next year's rental? So that can be another good way to rebook.
Oh, nice. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, the point is think creatively, think how do you increase revenue? How do you lower overhead? That's at the end of the day, that's what you're doing with the business. And we got to look at our customer as an asset, right? Yes, it's great that the platforms generate us business. We love the platforms. We love RV Share. We love Outdoorsy. We love our reps, all those things, but we don't love the platform fees, right? So if you have a customer, I do the same with my Airbnb. While they're at the rental, I'm trying to get them my contact information so that they have my email and my phone number and they're friends with me on Facebook and they're following my page. So next time around, they know to reach out to me directly so I can save money on those platform fees. So I think we'll call that a wrap for today. Lots of good advice in there. Man, this would be like a master class that we could sell for $100, y'all. So I'm just saying, leave a review or a comment or whatever. Share this with a friend that you know that's renting their RV. And yeah, let's just share the value. Let's have a great year. The cool thing too, when I say share this, if we're educating even our competition, right? Think about it like this. Say you've got a half a dozen people in your area that are renting their RV as well. If we're educating them the way that we're educating you, and all of a sudden everybody's nightly minimums is going up, then guess what you can do next? Now you can all start to slowly increase your prices together. And instead of it being a race to the bottom, you're actually all working together to have a race to the top. I want to throw a shout out actually to Katie Reeder in Las Vegas. She has this Las Vegas RV rental Facebook group. If y'all are in Las Vegas, join her Facebook group. Katie has done a phenomenal job in her area of creating this unity and community and everybody working together to really service the customers, make the industry great, and just so anyway, shout out to Katie Reeder. I don't know if you listen to our podcast, but shout out to you on that. So, all right, Stacy, does this conclude our podcast?
Yeah, I think it was a great one. We'll see y'all
Sweet.
next week.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next week. Thank you.